Kira Fried. Focus question. Who was Marie Curie and how did she change the world of science? Trailblazer. At a time when a few women were scientists, one woman's research and discovery changed the world. She left her homeland to study science and math at a leading university. She followed her scientific interest, even though the world seemed to block her at every turn. She was the first woman to be awarded a Nobel Prize, and the only person to ever awarded Nobel Prizes in two different scientific fields. This groundbreaking scientist was Marie Curie. Early years. Marie Curie was born Maria Sklodowska on November 7, 1867, in Warsaw, Poland. She was called Maja as a child and was the youngest of 5 children. Their father taught math and physics at a boys' high school. When Maria was born, the port of Poland, where her family lived, was ruled by the Russian Empire. Loyalty to Poland put people's life in danger. Maria's father lost his job in 1873 because he supported Polish independence. Maria's older sisters died in 1876, and her mother died 2 years later. Maria was a bright, curious child and outstanding student. She earned top honors when she graduated from high school at age 15 in 1883. Patience and preparation. Maja and her sister Fonia wanted to continue their studies, but women could not attend the University of Warsaw. They would need to leave Poland, but did not have enough money. The sister attended Warsaw's floating university, free education offered in secret by Polish teachers, although the classes were no match for the finest European university. They kept Maja up to date on scientific discoveries. Both sisters wanted to attend Sorbonne in Paris, but they could not afford the tuition. They made a deal. Maja would earn money for the Borgia's education, and Borgia would earn the favor. After earning her degree, Maja worked as a tutor and governess for 5 years and studied science, literature, and other subjects in free time. After helping her sister to pay for schooling, it was Maja's turn to attend Paris at last. Maja moved to Paris in 1891, enrolled at the Sorbonne. She took the name Mary, the French version of Maria. At that time, 2 years later, she graduated first in the class with a master's degree in physics. The following year, she earned second semester in math. Mary received a commission to study the magnetic properties of steel. She needed a laboratory for research. Another scientist introduced to her physics professor named Marie Curie, who arranged for Mary to use some lab space and where he worked. Over time, Mary and Harry fell in love. They married in July 1895 and had a daughter, Irene, 2 years later. Mary was still very involved with her work. After finishing her research, she decided to earn a doctorate at the Sorbonne. 2 types of race. Mary needed a topic for her doctoral research. 2 important physics discoveries had been made not long before. In late 1895, Wilhelm Röntgen, a German physicist, discovered X-ray. Early in the following year, French physicist Henri Beron also claimed of X-rays, which are weaker than X-rays. Mary decided to study radium rays. Mary began to study the effect of irradiant rays on the air. by just barely noticeable interstitials, currents in air that have been blasted with irradium in any form of electricity. Then more irradium gave stronger rays. She also demonstrated that the rays were property of mineral structure, not just its physical or chemical state. In addition, she discovered that another element, photon, gave off rays as well. Mary kept testing materials to see which one gives off rays. She tested a mineral called pitchblende, which contains uranium. She found its uranium. She supposed that pitchblende must contain a second radioactive element, one that scientists didn't know about yet. In 1898, Pierre Curie joined Mary in searching for new elements. After much research, they discovered two new elements, polonium and radium. Pierre also proved that radium's radioactivity could harm living flesh. His discoveries opened the door to treatment for cancer and other illnesses. Achievements and recognition. Mary earned her Doctor of Science in June 1903. She was the first woman in France to be awarded the doctorate and the first woman in all of Europe to be awarded a doctorate in science. Marie was the one in charge of the physics research she and Pierre did. Even so, she was almost passed over for the Nobel Prize, one of the most respected awards, because she was a woman. Only Pierre Curie and Henri Becquerel were nominated for the 1903 Nobel Prize in Physics. When Pierre found out, he said it would be terribly unfair for Mary not to be included. Mary's name was then added to the list. She and Pierre went together, along with Becquerel. In December 1903, the award recognized their parallel work on the audition. It was the first Nobel Prize awarded to a woman. The Curies instantly became famous around the world. Pierre was given a better job as Sorbonne, and Marie received a salary of became a chief of laboratory. She was excited by the attention and new responsibilities. Curies had a second daughter, Eve, in 1904, around the same time. The son born gave the Curies a new laboratory to work in. Dog time and more fame. The Curie will enjoy the successes when Charlie stuck. In 1906, Pierre was run over by a horse-drawn wagon and killed instantly. News of his death spread around the world. Mary was completely dumb with shock, but eventually found the strength to keep going. She was given Prestige Inquisition at the Sorbonne and was the first woman to become a Sorbonne professor. Marie was awarded a second Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry, in 1911 for her work in radioactive and her discoveries of radium and polonium. She was the first scientist to be awarded two Nobel Prizes. To this day, she is the only person to be awarded prizes in two different areas of science. On the battlefront, World War I broke out in late July 1914, and Germany attacked France just a few days later. Most of Mary's staff left to fight in the war, and scientific research had to stop. Mary looked for ways to put science to work to help the war effort. She provided portable X-ray machines for treating wounded soldiers on battlefields and set up more than 200 X-ray stations. She also learned how to use X-ray equipment and taught herself to drive so she could run the X-ray machines herself. Later life. After World War I ended, Marie worked non-stop to turn the Soviet Radium Institute into a world-class center for radioactivity research. Mary's daughter, Erin, and her husband were awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1935. Sadly, Mary didn't live long enough to celebrate with them. Now we know that radioactive substances are very dangerous, but that was only known during Mary's life. She died at age 66 on July 4, 1934, from a illness often caused by being around radioactively for a long time. Marie was buried next to Perry. In 1995, the remains were moved to Perron in Paris, where France both previous citizens are buried. Marie was the first and only woman to be buried there for her own achievements. Gifts to the world. Marie Curie's work caused a huge shift in scientific understanding of atoms and led to new achievements in medicine. Also led to the discoveries of radiocarbon dating, a way to learn the age of ancient life forms. Marie shows that careful scientific research can yield amazing breakthroughs. She also showed the world how to stay strong in the face of difficult obstacles. In the world, life is not easy for any of us, but what of that? We must have perseverance and above all the confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted something. This thing must be attained.
Good job. You pass. Great job on a perfect score.